Okay. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Second here. Hello guys, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a great day today. Yes, I'm gonna start working on that soon. Wilzer. The Pegarino lore videos, one that's a lot of people have requested for some time. Whoever needs help with anything, just invite me and I'll help you sell. Ambulance flipped over here. Am I gonna stream the Modern Warfare 3 beta? If I have time for it, Luigi, I will. Yeah, it's the old days of GT Online, Johnny, with those apartment styles. 10 years on this game, man. Looking good, you look like a mafia. Yes, I will still do more lore videos on the Saints Row content. Yes, I will. Okay, who's... Wait, am I in... Wait, Marcus left? Okay, I'm confused right now. Okay, I thought I was in the CEO. Okay, Okay, what are we selling right now? Kirsten's over here. We're selling crates. Okay. Okay, oh wait, Pearson's on the other block. Okay, I'm confusing this one. Medal of Honor Pacific Assault? Yes, I want to do that. Maybe we'll do that around December time. We could do that probably around December time. Hey, Max, thank you for the super chat. Good afternoon to you too, man. Yeah, this truck is really sensitive for being such a large thing. I'm good, Dan. How are you, man? Have I caught up with the Fargo TV series? I've watched seasons... Excuse me. I've watched the seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Fargo, but I have never watched season 4, because I heard season 4 wasn't that good, but I'll probably give it a try when I get around to it. I know they're making a season 5. No, I don't really watch football. Pearston, you're slowing down? Okay. Oh, you got Casino Heist. Well, Pearston, I'm gonna be helping Trio at the end of his heist. If I have enough time, I'll help you with your heist. I would like to note that you have now reached the prologue level in Max Payne 2 Hospital, and the squeaky cleaner marks are gonna go full commando now. Pat. So that's why Max was in the hospital, because he got shot by Winterson and fell in that ditch? Okay, thank you, Lendon, for the super chat. And thank you, Specialist. I'll let you know when we're ready for the heist. Don't you wish that GTA had mansions with bigger homes? Yes. Hey Pro, the best way to complete Miss Baker final mission cashing out solo. I keep dying either by helicopter guards. I don't own Hunter like someone recommended for me to use. Watch my video. Nicest person in the universe. Thank you for the super chat. Watch my video. I have a video that I put out like about 4 years ago, actually, when that DLC first came out. And that guide that I put out a video, like a playthrough. But the playthrough you can use as a guide. In the playthrough part, me and my friends did the whole thing stealth. If you actually do the whole thing stealth, all the extra helicopters don't show up afterwards, and the cutscene is actually different when Avery Duggan is escaping. The cutscene is a little different. You should play Ghost Recon Wildlands, bro. I love that game. I actually have a platinum trophy in Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I could do some pretty cool tactical cosplay on Ghost Recon Wildlands. I could definitely do that, and that game also fits in the category of games that I play, and I usually play crime games, and so Ghost Recon Wildlands is perfect for that, considering you're fighting the cartel. Have you been stopping scammers lately? There is actually, yes. There was a scammer that I started texting again. They haven't responded to me. I actually texted them yesterday. And that scammer was, it was another investment scam. And so I'll see if that scammer replies to me, and I'm just gonna start annoying them. Maybe I'll turn it into a video again. But I'm gonna have another video, guys, probably tomorrow or Tuesday. It's gonna be like a 2-hour video, and it's gonna be like something that happened 2 months ago. 2 months ago, there was this scammer that was going in my comment section pretending to be me. So his name would be professional, he would have no subscribers, and he would just tell people, message me on Telegram, you want like a giveaway and stuff like that. And I blocked all his accounts, and I started messaging him on Telegram and saying, oh, I'm interested in winning the giveaway, and I just started wasting his time for hours. And I'm gonna have a video on that. We'll have that up too. Thank you, IFB, Sal, also. Hey, Pro, if someone made an AI voice of you trying to scam people, what you gonna do? I don't know if there's really anything you can do about something like that. That's scary, though, that, like, people can do stuff like that. Have I seen the YouTube channel Scammer Payback, Pat? Yes, I have. That's that guy that, like, tracks down the scammers and he tells them where they live and their names. I've seen his videos. It's the guy with blue hair, right? I've seen his videos. Okay, whoever needs help selling, invite me now. I'm waiting for anybody who needs help selling. You like to say a lot, don't you? Thank you, Lamar Geometry Dash, for the super chat. I don't like to say it. It's just a nasty habit. I stopped doing that. I still do it. Don't get me wrong, I still do it. But I do it a lot less than I used to. I used to do it a lot more. It's just a bad habit. It's just like I do it automatically. I don't do it on purpose. It just happens. Like I'm just talking and I just say, I don't do it on purpose. It just like I automatically do it. I just can't explain it. It's just okay. Okay. Can you do a video on why Stretch betrayed Lamar? Yes, I could do that. That sounds like a good one. Enter a plane. Okay, how many people do we got in this MC? Wait, where? Shimon, can you get like a really fast plane, like a Pyro or a Molotov or a Raiju, and just like activate flight formation? It'll make us go much faster on this mission. Would I like to see a PS5 version of Red Dead Redemption 2? Yes, but I don't want to pay $50 for it. Do you get money from YouTube streams or your videos? I get money from both. I mean, YouTube is, you know, my main source of income. This is how I make a living. That's one, but I'll tell you though, is that I never ask for, you know, donations. I'm not like one of those YouTubers where I ask people to donate to me. People can always do it. It's always it's an option, and whenever people do it, I do really appreciate it. But I never ask people for donations. I don't do stuff like that. My entire time of streaming on YouTube for what, it's been 6 years now, I never have once asked for a donation. But I always do appreciate it when people do donate. Shamon Plays, thank you for the super chat. I reached 900 million like 2 weeks ago. I'm at 940 right now, but I want to say thanks for your money, guys. That helped me a lot out my 6 years of grinding, and look at me now. I'm nearly at a billion. Well, thank you, Shamon, and I'm glad I was able to help you, man. Thank you for the super chat. Do I have any videos on Red Dead 1 planned? Yes, I do. I have a video on Edgar Ross planned, and I have a video on the characters planned. What's the next Payday part? Maybe I'll try to get it out tonight, we'll see. You're such an awesome guy, well, thank you. Yara, just be careful, please. You can just knock my plane down when you do stuff like that. My top 10 favorite crime games? My favorite crime game of all time would have to be Saints Row 2. Second favorite crime game would be GTA 4. If you're not counting the GTA series, well, my third favorite crime game would have to be... probably the Scarface game. After that, it would probably be Godfather Part 1, the game. It would probably be then Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs, what else? Trying to think of all the crime games that I like. Kane and Lynch, yeah, Kane and Lynch is definitely in there. I can't wait for your Undead Nightmare playthrough. We will do that on Halloween. Thank you, Jimmy, for the super chat. And thank you, Landon. When content, are you going to play the Warriors? Yes, I will. But I want to watch the movie first before I play the game. I've never seen the movie. Do you play police games? Of course I do, yes. I got a bachelor's degree in law enforcement. That's what I was originally going to do. And SWAT is a good game that I'm actually consider playing, yes. Pro, I don't like bothering you or pushing you to play Payday. I've asked you on PSN and you didn't respond. I'm assuming you're very busy, but let me know if you can, bro. Okay, thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry I didn't reply to you on PSN. I get a lot of messages on PSN every day, so I'm sorry that I didn't reply to you then. Which is your PSN again? I'm sorry if I'm just asking you again, Greatest Within. I just have so many people added, so it's hard to keep track of who is who. But what is your PSN again? Just remind me, and I'll find it right after the stream today. Thank you, Viking69. Thank you for the super chat. What is your opinion about the new war in Israel? It's just really horrible right now. I don't really want to talk about stuff like that because it's just really, really bad. It's very brutal. You know, I've seen some pretty horrible videos that have been going around. I saw one video that was just, part of it was censored, but it was pretty bad. But I just personally don't want to get into that and don't want to talk about that. Ready or Not is also a good recommendation. I know that game too. Yeah, it's a tactical police game. Thank you, London. And thank you, Upland. Played True Crime New York City or LA or Driver. I played Driver. That's the one I played. Funny that Dutch says that Micah would break Arthur out of jail. But when Arthur actually gets arrested, Micah never comes as Dutch, Jose, or John. Yeah, all those cutscenes, Micah is not in one of those cutscenes when he actually does break Arthur out of jail. You're right, Alien. Thank you for the super chat. Have I done a walkthrough of Rainbow Six Vegas 2? No, I have not. No, I never played Stranglehold. I know it's an older game. I know that. Wait, I missed a drop? Oh, I missed the one right over the dam. Okay, I guess we're going there then. It's okay, Mark. Best Rockstar game beside GTA? Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe I'll play Spider-Man 2, we're gonna have to see. I might not have enough time because I'll be playing so many other games. Yeah, I know what you meant, Landon. Thank you, man. Yeah, Mafia 2, how could I forget that? The Mafia games are also great crime games, yes. I'm enjoying your Max Payne 2 series lately. Thank you, Shimon. There we go, done there. Favorite childhood game? Mega Man Legends. Favorite World War II game? Call of Duty World at War. Oh, whoa. Okay, that was close. Ooh. Did I like Ghost Recon Breakpoint? It was okay, but I thought that Wildlands was a better game. Who do you think would have sided with Arthur and John at the end if they were still alive? Also, do you wish Guarma was more than it was in release? I actually enjoyed the Guarma chapter. I don't know why people didn't like it. I actually enjoyed it, and I love blowing up that battleship. But if the characters were alive, I think that Sean probably would have shot Micah right away because Micah would have been pissing off Sean so much. Because Sean has a pretty significant temper. If you've seen how he acts around camp, but he would take Arthur's side, but he would just shoot Micah as soon as possible. Lenny would obviously take Arthur and John's side. As for Hosea, I think that Hosea would kind of lean more towards Arthur's side, but what he would probably do is he would probably be standing like in the middle of them trying to cool things down. That's probably what he'd be probably trying to do, and he'd probably get shot in the process. That's probably what would have happened. At least my prediction. Is Rising Sun your favorite Medal of Honor game? I think it would be Frontline, probably Frontline. Okay, Shimon, I'm right outside to sell your business. I'm ready whenever you are. Yeah, Dimitri and Claude are similar in that they're very cold-blooded people, they're very ruthless people, and both Claude and Dimitri betray people. But even though Dimitri and Claude, even though both of those characters don't care about anyone but themselves, they betray people all the time. There's one major difference between Dimitri and Claude. Does anybody know what the difference is between Dimitri and Claude? Anyone in the comments know what the difference is between them? Like I said, they don't care about anyone. They're both really cold-blooded people. They both betray people a lot. But there's one thing that there's a difference one big difference between Dimitri and Claude. No, Claude is a psychopath. He is. No, it's not that they don't talk. It's more their personality. Dimitri pretends to be someone else, yes. You're right on that. But here's the thing. The main difference between Claude and Dimitri is that Claude isn't a coward. Dimitri is a coward. That's the difference between them. Claude does his own stuff. Dimitri manipulates people and gets people to do things for him. That's the difference between them. Exactly. Claude is not a coward. So, that's why I think Dimitri's even more evil than Claude. Because even though Claude, leaves a massive trail of destruction, at least Claude isn't scared. At least, he's not a coward. Dimitri uses you before betrayal. Yeah, he used Nico. Thank you, MG, for the super chat. MG Infinite. I know it's more sci-fi, but have you played Return to Castle Wolfenstein? The design is really good for 2001. No, I haven't. I know that, I know the game, Max, that you're talking about. I remember when that game came out on PC, right? But I haven't played it. I think Claude can't speak because he has a genetic stuttering disorder since his name in Latin, Claudius, means to stutter, and Catalina severed his stuttering more when where his speech ability is non-existent. The thing about that, Chrysler, I don't know about the thing about Claude's name, but what I can tell you about Claude, though, is that there's this false, belief that people have in the GTA community. Like, I've seen this comment a bunch of times, where people say, oh, Claude doesn't talk because Catalina shot him in the neck. No, Claude didn't talk before that. Like, he didn't even say anything when Catalina was about to betray him, too. And on top of that, in San Andreas, he doesn't say anything either to CJ. And so that can just be proven right there. Which protagonist's death was more painfully realistic-wise in Red Dead Redemption 2? Arthur Morgan, Max Positive Honor, or John Marston's execution, Red Dead Redemption 1? I don't know about realism, but John's death was definitely more brutal than Arthur's death, though, London. I mean, he literally got shot, 20 or 30 times. Do you think GTA 6 will be good? Rockstar is a terrible company, but they can still make amazing content if they want to. Yep. And, I mean, if you look at a company like Bethesda does, really, messed up things too. But when they release Elder Scrolls 6, I think Elder Scrolls 6 can be better than Skyrim. Thank you, Jimmy, for sponsoring my channel too. Arthur Morgan got killed slowly by tuberculosis. Yes, he did. And he couldn't take it anymore, London. Thank you for the super chat. Why do you think Claude is mute? Well, they never explain it. They never do. We don't even know who he is. He's like the most mysterious GTA character. Thank you, Chrysland, for the super chat. Max Payne lore? I could possibly do something on that. I have to think of what the topic would be. Are you ever gonna play mods? What, you mean like mods on GTA? Maybe like single player? I could, you know, mess around with stuff like that one day. Who's best, Luis, Johnny, or Nico? I think I like Nico the most because his backstory is just so cool. His very interesting backstory. Thanks, Max, for the super chat. If Milton was still alive during the events of Red Dead Redemption 1, would he have killed John or kept his word? He seems more law-abiding, which Cornwall hated. I think that Milton would have still betrayed John Marston because Milton did, remember what, Milton was very sadistic in how he was making fun of Arthur when he was having a cough attack. I think he still would have betrayed John. Thank you, Alien. And you have to remember that Ross was basically Milton's student, when you really think about it. His, you know, his predecessor. So that's, so Arthur's death is the most painful, John brutal, yeah. Arthur suffered more than John did if you count all of the days that the tuberculosis was just killing him, but John's death was just more brutal in its end. Molly had the worst death. Molly had the most brutal death, but not the most painful death, because it was an instant death, pretty much. Ross did not betray John. John told Ross that John would shoot Dutch, but he didn't. Well, John still killed Dutch, when you think about it. It's still, John was still responsible for his death. And the other thing about that is, Ross told John that he could go back to his family, so he did betray him. What do you think killed Tony Soprano and why? Let's assume that Tony did get killed in the end, right? Who do I think killed Tony Soprano? I think that a lot of people, when they're looking at those theories, they aren't looking at it the right way. Because everybody assumes that Tony is the target. But what if Tony wasn't the target? What if it was AJ? And you're probably wondering who would want AJ dead. It was probably AJ's former Blockbuster manager. Because when AJ worked at Blockbuster in The Sopranos, he actually stole a bunch of promotional merchandise. And so his manager might have been pissed that he stole the promotional merchandise, and so decided to try to have him killed, and Tony got shot in the process. That's what might have happened. But no, I'm just trolling on that. Who do I think really killed Tony? If you look at it, there is, in my mind, there's 3 possible suspects. There is possibly Polly, because if Polly killed Tony, he'd be the boss when you think about it. But there really wasn't anything left for Polly. There were like the Soprano family was pretty much dead at that time. When Tony died, it was pretty much the end of the family, because there was like almost most of the made men had gotten killed or they turned states. So there really wasn't that many people left. So could have been Polly, or it could have been Butch. Butch might have done it, to fear that there might have been some kind of possible retaliation, Or the last suspect who could have done it is it could have been Patsy. A lot of people didn't expect Patsy, but remember that Patsy's son married Tony's daughter. And so that made him much closer to Tony, and so he might have been trying to take over the family. Plus, he might have wanted revenge for his brother being killed. Remember that. Arthur's still alive with tuberculosis because the player refuses to do the last mission, so he's just slowly feeling pain with no way to die. Instead, he responds. Well, thank you, Alien, for the, super chat. We can cure tuberculosis today, and, I believe, but back then, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but back then, I believe that tuberculosis would go away on its own, but it took a long time. And most people would not survive it going away. Like, you'd have to be really strong. But correct me if I'm wrong, I think it eventually goes away on its own. But most people don't get to that point. It's just because it just basically just eats up your lungs and just slowly chokes you. Thank you, Ally, for the for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. And also, even though we got post-ops, this is actually the best place to do post-ops from, this location, because it's right on the highway. I know it is. Micah shoots him instead.
This car was pristine.
Do you dislike any arcs in The Sopranos? Do I dislike any of the stories that they did in The Sopranos? I'm just thinking right now. I remember there was one story point that I really didn't like in The Sopranos. I'm trying to think of it. Most of them were really good, but I'm trying to think of which one didn't I like. Damn, I have to think about it. If the legal trouble ended a little different with Molly not dying, worst case scenario is Michael knocks her out trying to retake the film from her. Yeah, I think that Devin still would have tried to get even at that point. Thank you, Lenton, for the super chat. Are you still doing the crash video? I live in LA. It's crazy more the cops rob the bank. Yes, I would do that. I could do a video on Crash. The thing about that is I'm considering making a video, top 5 GTA gangs that are based on real-life gangs, and I'm thinking about putting Crash on that. Because most of the gangs in GTA are based on real-life gangs. A lot of people don't know that. Let me see here. I didn't like the Furio and the Carmela arc. I actually like that arc. And the reason I like that arc is because Tony constantly had affairs. Constantly was cheating on his wife. And so it was pretty much poetic justice that she was considering cheating on him. It's kind of funny how he was getting, Tony was getting all offended and all pissed off that Carmela possibly was going to cheat on him, even though she didn't, but she got really close to cheating on him. But he constantly cheats on her. So it's kind of funny when you have like a guy who constantly cheats on his wife, and then the wife cheats on him, and he gets all pissed about that. So I did like that story. It shows the hypocrisy of Tony a lot. Do you know what I think was one of the most do you know what I think was one of the most messed up things that Tony ever did in The Sopranos? It's not the most evil thing he did, but it's one of the most messed up things he did, but people don't really talk about it that much. One of the most messed up things that Tony ever did was when he borrowed, like, the $200,000 from Hesh. Do you remember that? So Hesh was basically, Tony's money guy. He was the guy who would, give out loans. He would help finances and stuff like that. Hesh was not a made man because Hesh was not Italian, but he was an associate of the family. Now, here's the thing about this, is Hesh never betrayed Tony. Hesh was always loyal to Tony, did whatever Tony wanted, and the fact he let Tony borrow $200,000 from him, and Tony constantly would try to make excuses for not paying the money back, like just constantly try not to make excuses, and then when Hesh would ask for the money, Tony would act like he was a scumbag or something like that, and Tony would act like Hesh was in the wrong and would just complain about it. And the thing about that is that shows you the massive hypocrisy, because throughout the series of The Sopranos is Tony constantly, whenever Tony borrows anybody money and they miss a payment, he literally hunts them down and beats the crap out of them and threatens them. But when he borrows money from somebody, oh, he's allowed to miss a payment whenever he feels like it. And so that, it just shows you the hypocrisy of Tony Soprano with that. So that was just such a messed up thing. Hesh was always loyal to him. Hesh never did anything against Tony's back. And the fact that Tony was just not paying him back, that was one of the most worst things that he did. Okay, here we go. Happy Thanksgiving for Canada. Oh, it's Thanksgiving today in Canada. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian viewers. The first time you see Dimitri, you think it's is a sane person compared to Faustin, but later it's revealed he's absolutely crazy. I don't think that Dimitri was crazy. I think Dimitri knew what he was doing, but the difference between Faustin and Dimitri is Faustin was crazy, crazy and bad, but I wouldn't say that Faustin was evil. Dimitri was evil and manipulative. That's what he was. So I think Dimitri knew pretty much what he was doing, because when somebody's crazy, they don't fully grasp what they're doing, but Dimitri very much knew what he was doing. You should start a mafia and call it the Sheep Taco Mafia. Well, thank you, Justin. Thank you for the super chat. I bet Fernando would love that. Yeah, Faustin isn't a psychopath. And here's the thing about this is, what I'm considering doing is, I'm considering making a what-if series for my lore content. And how my what-if series would basically work. Let me know if you guys would like this, like videos like this. But basically how the what-if lore videos would work is, I would be explaining how I think the story would go if certain events did not happen in the storyline. Like, for example, I could make, like, a video, what if, Nico never killed Faustin? What would have happened? Like, I could make, like, a video like that explaining how I think the story would have gone. And I could do, like, a video, like, what if Vic Vance never died in Vice City? You know, and explain how I think the story would have ended and stuff like that. Like, there are so many what-ifs, like, scenarios that I could think of that I could do. Yeah, you guys would like a series like that? Okay, I could do a video then what if Nico never betrayed Faustin, because I have a pretty good idea of what I think would happen in the story if he didn't. I don't want to spoil it, but I could probably make a video on that. And if Brad lives, oh man, yeah. The thing about that is if Brad was alive, let's just say that Brad was the playable character, not Trevor. Let's just say that Trevor died in the storyline, right? If Trevor died at the beginning, first mission, and Brad survived and Brad escaped, do you know how that would have ended? There would have been no reasoning. If Brad found out that Michael betrayed him, Brad would not only just kill Michael, he wouldn't even hesitate, he'd just kill Michael. He would kill Michael's entire family, he'd kill Jimmy, Tracy, Amanda, Brad would kill everybody, Brad would not care. So that's what I would say about Brad, is it would be absolute slaughter if Brad was alive. Brad would probably end up becoming the main antagonist. So that's what probably would have happened. I don't know if this is too political, but do you think the shoplifting wave is mostly organized, or do you think it's random people to homeless? I can answer that question. I don't think that it's political. I don't think it's really political to talk about crime, necessarily. But what I will tell you is, here's what people will, the thing about this, do you think that Brad is that rash and that insane? Yes, I do. Brad is a completely cold-blooded character. If you want to look up my video, why does Trevor forgive Michael for getting Brad killed? It's approaching 1 million views right now. But I explain about it, why Trevor forgave Michael for it, because Trevor remembered the type of person that Brad was. And Trevor hated Brad as well. Trevor despised Brad. And he accepted that at the end, that Brad deserved it. So that's, so Brad is a really, really bad guy. Brad is worse than Trevor. I am not joking on that. You only see Brad in one mission. But if you listen to the dialogue, because the character, Trevor and Michael, when they're hanging out, will actually talk about what kind of person Brad was. Brad's even worse than Trevor. Not joking on that. Brad is worse than Trevor. So if you actually listen to the things that Brad did, Brad was evil. That's what I would say about it. Brad was, very, very bad guy. Worse than Trevor. Now, about the crime thing that you were talking about, the shoplifting. Let me read your question again. Do you think the shoplifting wave is mostly organized, or do you think it's random people to homeless? Okay, about that. Here's the thing. The politicians and the media will most of the time they'll tell you that people who shoplift are desperate. That they're desperate, they need food, they're poor. Here's the thing about this. If somebody is poor and they're desperate and they're homeless and they're hungry, do you know what they're going to steal if they're desperate? They're going to steal food. That's what they're going to steal if somebody's desperate. If somebody's hungry, they're homeless on the street, they're going to steal food. They're not going to go into some, Apple store, smash it up, take a bunch of iPhones and run out the front door. That is not somebody who's desperate. That is organized shoplifting at that point. So it depends on the situation. But I'll tell you something. The people that are poor and desperate and shoplift food, you won't those people, they're not oftentimes talked about as much in the media. But the people that are shown, the people that are running into those stores, that's organized shoplifting. And trying to think of something else. There was a video that I saw of a supermarket that got ransacked. Just so many shoplifters. It was like a big group of people just ran into a supermarket and they just started taking everything in the supermarket. Do you know what they didn't take in the supermarket? The vegetables. That's what they didn't take. And so you'd think that if somebody's desperate for food, they're gonna grab the vegetables too, because that's kids need vegetables when they're growing up, especially. So you'd think that somebody that's desperate would steal vegetables from their kids, but they didn't. So what I'll tell you is, when you see those guys run into when you see them run into an Apple store, because I'm sure that you guys have seen those videos. When you see those guys that are masked up, wearing hoods, and they run into an Apple store, and they smash all the cases in an Apple store, and they take all the iPhones and all the Mac computers, and they're gone within 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, they'll completely clean out the Apple store. Those are not random homeless people that are desperate on the street for food. That is organized shoplifting. That's a gang of people that do that for a living. They literally break into stores, they do quick smash and grabs. That's an actual tactic. They will plan it out, they'll see, what's the best time to go into that store, they'll run into that store, and then they'll smash everything, and they'll take everything, and they'll be gone in 5 minutes. That is a smash and grab. And that is not, when the media says that these people are desperate and, they're homeless, the people that are breaking into that Apple store and stealing thousands of dollars electronics are not homeless and are not desperate. Do you know what those people are going to do with those electronics? They're going to sell them on Craigslist, or they're going to sell them on some kind of illegal market. That's what they're going to do with those MacBooks. They're going to sell them for thousands of dollars. So that's not somebody that's desperate on it. So that's what I say is, when somebody is desperate, they're going to steal food. That's what they're going to steal. Now, look, if somebody goes into a supermarket and steals steals some food to feed their kids, technically it's still wrong stealing, but that's nowhere near as bad as somebody running into an Apple store and just smashing the place up and stealing thousands of dollars of electronics. So I think if anything, the media messes this up. The media and politicians are stupid because they act like the gang of masked men that run into the store and steal a bunch of like iPhones and MacBooks are the same as like some hungry guy on the streets that steals a few cans from the supermarket. It's not the same. And I don't deny that there's people that, steal because they're desperate. But when you watch those videos on YouTube of like those people that are just like running into like stores in California and stuff like that, those are not desperate people. Those are organized groups of shoplifters. They do that for a living. These are gangs of people. They plan this out. They plan this into advance, and then they go into these stores and they smash up the place and they steal a bunch of stuff. And here's the thing about this is if you are running like a mom and pop shop in California, let's say that you are in San Francisco, right? San Francisco is a very expensive city to live in. A little bit cheaper than LA. I guess it depends on the part, but it's still a very expensive city to live in. You have a lot of bills to pay. You're probably paying rent for the store location, and so you have to either break even or make a little bit more than that. Otherwise, you can't pay the bills and you can't support yourself. So imagine that you are running like a small electronics store, like a small one, right? Like one electronics store, maybe like two-room electronics store, on a corner of an intersection. And you have like 3 guys run into your store, just steal all your laptops that you're selling, all the phones that you're selling. They steal all of that. If they do like a few hits like that on you, that could cost a business its business. They could completely go out of business from that. So that's what people don't understand. Like when I see these politicians saying like, oh, they care more about the shoplifters than they do about the victims, the people that are running these stores. Because like if shoplifters steal from like a store like Walmart or something like that, sure, it's still bad, but Walmart can take a hit, But when it comes to like a small little electronics shop, they can't take a hit. They can't. And so these policies of not punishing these shoplifters, not throwing these organized groups of shoplifters in jail, is killing small businesses. It's destroying these businesses. They can't take it anymore. And it's just horrible. So, the media says, oh, these shoplifters are homeless. Well, if they don't stop the organized shoplifting, the business owners are going to become homeless. So that's what I'll say about that. I think that there is some shoplifters that are poor and desperate, don't get me wrong, but a lot of it is organized shoplifting. And I think that the reason the spikes are happening in the shoplifting is because of stupid politicians, and I also think it's because of stupid laws. That's what I think also. Like, California has that law where I think it's like $950 you steal of stuff, and then after that it's a felony. And so people will just walk in, just take stuff, they don't care. Even they'll even show their face on camera, they just don't care. And I personally think that that's, that law needs to change. Something needs to be done about that. Rodriguez, can you drop this, please? Let's see here. I hope I answered that question, Max. In follow-up for the Enclave essentially fully collapsed into smaller groups. Most of them joined Gunner Company, which is now 1 million large in mercenaries personnel. Oh, I didn't know that a lot of them joined the Gunners. Thank you, Lenton, for the super chat. And thank you, Max. I see it in real life in LA. They steal pills and cosmetics. Homeless can get food begging easily if they do in front of a Target, since they have cash back. Well, here's what I will tell you guys is if somebody is ever, asking for money on the streets, if you see like a homeless person asking money for the streets, I don't recommend to give them money. What I recommend to do instead, if you want to help them, buy them a meal, buy them some food, bring some food to them. Or better yet, if you're a business owner, offer them a job. Because there are people out there that actually run scams. I'm not joking on this. There's people who run scams where all they will do is they will sit on a corner and they will pretend to be homeless. I'm not joking on that. There are people do this in New York. Where I grew up in New York, people do this all the time. Where they will stay in an area where it's where a lot of people go through and they'll ask for money. These people are not actually homeless. And you will give them money and they make a living off that and they do nothing. And so yes, there's scams like that. And so you really don't know who is pulling that kind of scam. So that's what I would say is that if you really want to help like a homeless person, you see and you don't know if they're homeless, buy them a meal, buy them some food. Say like, I'll buy you some food. See how they react. when you tell them, like, you know, a good way to tell would be just tell them, hey, I'll buy you a meal. You know, you want some food, I'll buy you some food, and just see how they react to that. If they say, oh yes, please, can you buy me a meal? You know, then they're not lying to you. But if they get all pissed off saying, I don't want food, I want money, they're probably trying to scam you. So just keep that in mind. I'm not saying every person on the streets is like that. I'm not trying to stereotype anyone. What I'm just saying is be careful who you give money to on the streets, because there are people who post scams like that. So I'm not saying to be heartless or anything like that. What I'm just saying is, you know, be careful with stuff like that. And you know, and you can donate to your homeless shelter if you want. You know, you can donate to your homeless shelter. You can, you know, that's, you know, one way that you can help the homeless community. There's nothing wrong with that. What you can, but also there's the thing is that when you bring a homeless person food, they have food. They can't really do anything else with that. They have to eat it. But if you give them money, they might not even use that for food. You know, they might use that to buy drugs, or they might use that to buy alcohol. And so what are you doing at that point is you're just feeding an addiction. You're not really helping. So that's what I would say my advice on that is just be careful who you give money to. I'm not saying to be heartless. I'm not trying to, don't put words in my mouth. But I'm just saying is be careful who you give money to, because in New York City, where I grew up in New York City, there's people who run scams where they just sit on the streets and they will just ask people for money. Let's see here. I used to work TSS for Target. Wait, what's TSS? It was bad. You wouldn't believe how much merch we retrieved. And it sucked because we can't put our hands on these thugs. Well, look, here's what I say is, Sal, is just, it's not worth it, on those people. If you see somebody, like, shoplifting in a store, don't even try to stop them. It's not worth it, because, you know, you're what? You're getting paid a little bit above minimum wage? You know, why should you put your health and your safety at risk for some large corporation that doesn't care about you? And they're gonna fire you regardless if you try to stop the person who's stealing from them. So don't, I would not bother with trying to stop those people, honestly. How many times have I gotten a copyright claim? Probably over 100 times. Bro, since you know about law, how is robbery and shoplifting, for example, stealing valuable, jewelry or electronics, what's the difference? Here's what people don't, I'll give you the best example of a comparison between a robbery and theft. People think that robbery and theft is the same thing. It's not. Robbery is much worse than theft. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say that, you know, a woman sits down on a bench, right, in a city, and she leaves her purse on the bench. She turns around for a second, and some guy just takes her purse and just runs off. That is theft. Now let's take that exact same example. The woman is sitting down on the bench, but this time she doesn't take the purse off. Instead, some guy goes up to her and just rips the purse out of her hands and threatens her. That's robbery at that point. Robbery requires physical force when you're getting something. So theft, most of the time theft is when somebody steals something without the person noticing. That's what theft is most of the time, when somebody steals something without somebody noticing. Robbery is when you take something by force. What's your comment, Zach? Can you post it again? Well, burglary is a little something a little different. Because burglary isn't just theft, it's also trespassing. Because you're breaking into somebody's property. I sent you the giveaway video so you can share it and hopefully do well. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we'll fill you in on it. Yeah, and my friend Blinded Eagle, he is doing a giveaway, recently for Spider-Man 2. He's doing a giveaway on his channel. He made a video about that. He doesn't require any personal information. He doesn't require any of that. Basically, on his video, you would just reply to his comment, and you have to be in in the United States, and it's a PS5 version of Spider-Man 2 that he's giving away. I think that he will just reply to you and just message you on PSN or Discord if you want his giveaway. A burglary could turn into a robbery very quickly if the homeowner returns to their home. Yep, they can. Have I encountered a home invasion or burglary in my house? No, I have not. I've never had that happen, thankfully. Cool hat, thank you. Thanks, man. Zach, can you just post your comment again, the one that you're asking me, because then I just have to scroll up. Just please post it again and I'll try to find it. Oh, this is a bunker cell mission, this one. I don't want to get into, I don't want to get into that, Zach. I wish Red Dead Redemption 1 had performance mode, fidelity, nostalgia, and custom, where you could have the old graphics. But 4K or smooth, Thank you, Blinded Eagle, for the, comment. With such limited info on Brad, how do you know he's a psychopath? Notice how Brad acts in the first mission. Brad, if Michael executes the hostages in the first mission, you get a fail. But what happens is, when Michael executes the hostages, Brad says, if anybody's gonna be executing hostages, it's gonna be me. That's what Brad says, if Michael, executes the hostages. And then what ends up happening is, when Brad gets in the car, Brad says, did you see how I, put that woman's face up against the glass? That's what Brad says. And he just starts laughing about that. He's very sadistic. He enjoys what he's doing. Even Trevor is getting annoyed by it. He says blah, 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 blah in that scene. So you can tell just by the way he acts, but also what other characters say about him. Like, both Trevor and Michael, when they're hanging out, will talk about how bad of a bad guy Brad was. And Lester also says it. Lester also says that Brad was evil. Like, Lester says that he was a horrible person. Try to sock test on homeless people. Real homeless people need socks. If they take the sock, they're telling the truth. If not, they're scamming. Thank you for the super chat, Suspect 13. Yeah, so that's the thing is, if you see a homeless person on the streets, that's what I'm saying, is don't give them money. Because you don't know whether they are, pulling some kind of scam. You don't know whether they're going to use that for drugs or alcohol. If you want to be generous, if you want to be nice, buy them some food. Bring them some food. Or buy them some clothes. Buy them some clothes. See how they react. If they get pissed off that you're bringing them clothes or you're bringing them food, then they were probably running a scam. That's probably what it was. Because nobody's gonna get pissed off at somebody bringing them food or,
Oh my God.
no one's gonna get pissed off at somebody bringing them food or clothes. Okay. Who's worse, Rockstar or EA? Oh, that's a tough question to answer. A child wants to be his mother, and she goes out for coffee for friends, but his mother tells him to make his own friends. Well, that's messed up. Wait, why are you glad you stopped playing GTA Night? Okay, wait till it's delivered. Oh, I'm not sure, Axolotl Gaming, if I'm reading your name correctly. Have I seen Dark Space's recent upload on physical media? No, I haven't. What has he said? The Prospect and Red Dead Online, no. Red Dead Online is done with its updates. Have you ever been burnt out from GTA? Yes, I have.
Whoa!
Bro, there are people on Twitter defending what's happening in Israel, even defending the of Israeli woman by Hamas soldiers. It's
I don't think they let me.
I don't know why somebody would defend something like that. That's horrible. Thank you for the super chat, Mario. Sorry for asking this, but how is it? What's
Fuck this, dude. What the hell?
Yeah, I just don't tend to get much involved into current events, Eric. People on Twitter defend anything, that's true.
What the fuck?
No, I was just reading questions, Aaron. I'm not talking about it. I just don't really talk much about current events.
Are you
But it's really horrible what's going on right now. My job was living hell back then when I had to lift boxes and carry them upstairs like you did in your story. Oh. Me and my two friends are 100 million legit thanks to you and Tylarius. Well, thank you. Thank you, Hello Mike. What will be the best, what would be the best way to make money in GTA? Right now, buy supplies for the 5 MC businesses, the bunker, have a nightclub be producing the acid lab, and in that time do crates. Well, crates is actually double money right now. What will be the best way to make money in a GTA? Oh, okay, variant. I read that one. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the that pro. Can you post it in your community page for anyone who might have missed the stream? Also, for anyone who is hyped for Spider-Man 2, I might stream the first like 20 minutes or so when it drops. Would anyone watch? Yeah, so Blinded Eagle is running a giveaway on his channel. He made a video recently where he's giving away Spider-Man 2, and this is not some kind of scam. Blinded Eagle is not requiring any kind of personal info. He doesn't do any of that stuff. You would just have to be in the United States, and it's the PS5 version of Spider-Man 2. You would just have to post a comment on his video with your PSN or your Discord, and he will just select a random comment and just message you the code if you've won. See here. The person who cut down that 300-year-old tree should spend life in prison. What I'll say about that, the person who cut down the 300-year-old tree, you know what the punishment should be for that? They should force that person to work in national parks and protecting the environment.
You fucker!
Spider-Man 2 is only on PS5? Oh, I didn't know that then. No, it's a code. He's not shipping anything to anybody. He's giving away a code. So he'll just message the person on You would just basically post on his video like a comment. He doesn't require any personal info. You would just post on his video just saying your PSN name, and he would just message you if you won the giveaway. He's gonna select a random comment to win. No problem, Shimon. Are you doing Max Payne 3 after 2? Maybe. We'll see if I Would burst weapons be viable in GT Online? Not really. Maybe against certain NPCs, but definitely not against players. Players, it definitely wouldn't be worth it. Bro, didn't you play Max Payne 2? I'm doing it right now, yeah. Yeah, I'm too also night confused. Okay. I'm not sure, Axolotl Gaming, if I'm reading your name correctly. Do you still not trust Vlad for Max Payne? No. Really wish we could go back to the old days when things were simpler and people weren't animalistic, but life isn't fair. Thank you for the super chat, Dillingham. I mean, thank you for sponsoring my channel for 9 months.
I was worried you might collapse from...
Bro, last night a God Mode player called me trash. Yeah, you know what actually happened to me the other day, guys? The other day I got orbital cannoned. I actually recorded it. So I got orbital cannoned. And after I got orbital cannoned, do you know what the guy said? The guy sent me a message. And do you know what he said in the message? He said, 1-0, I'm up on you. That's what he said. So, the guy orbital cannoned me. And he said, 1-0, I'm up on you. What the hell is that supposed to mean? 1-0, I'm up on you. That sounds stupid. I sometimes can't understand why people are just stupid, Victor Rodriguez. Thank you for the super chat. Have you seen the idiot who ate undercooked fillet fish meat with tapeworm for TikTok views? What? What? What's your opinion on Kim Il-sung, the founder of the DPRK? You mean North Korea? Kim Il-sung was Kim Jong-un's grandfather. It's how big country. About Kim Il-sung is, Kim Il-sung actually was not born in Korea. The North Korean media lies. He was actually born in a poor Siberian village in the Soviet Union. That's where he was actually born, when his father was actually on the run from the Japanese.
Hell yeah, brother.
Or no, that was Kim Jong-il. I think Kim Jong-il was the one that was born in the poor Siberian village. But Kim Il-sung is like, it's a disgusting cult that's surrounding him. I saw you play music for your GTA Vice City playthrough. Do those small sacrifices pay off in the long run? More loyal fans? I mean, I played the music a lot of times, sometimes because I like it, and I'll even take a copyright claim. But there's one video in Vice City Stories that some people have criticized me for, and it's the video with the helicopter. I forget the name of the mission, but it's the mission where Holy Diver plays. When you're stealing, you know, the Mendez brothers' coke shipment, and then Martinez comes in with the helicopter and he tries to blow you up. When I was recording that video, I said I'll have the music up. I don't care for the copyright claim, and I left the video up like that. The video got copyright claimed. I left it up like that for months. It was fine. And then what ended up happening is months later, that entire video got locked. So the entire video got taken down, unless I unmuted it. And so I had no choice but to unmute it. Otherwise, mute it. Otherwise, the entire video would have gotten locked down. Oh, collect acid? Oh, okay. Kim Il-sung was born in Japan. I'll have to look that one up then. Oh, thank you, Flaming Eel. Going to the same place where Mr. K got tortured. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Oh, someone can't drive a truck? Okay. Thank you, Crispy MD. Thank you. Nearly 4 years of sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate the effort you put into everything you do. One of the hardest working YouTubers. Thank you. Thank you, Crispy. Thanks, man. Have you read Klevenuk's biography of Stalin? He says he was basically the sole reason the Korean War persisted so long. No, I did not. Why? What did he say specifically about Stalin in that case, Max? Thank you for the super chat. Okay, see you, Energy. Take care, man. When you work, do they send you home early? Did they send you home early? Wait, what? You mean in... What are you talking about? In retail? Did I get sent home early if I worked? No, it wasn't like that. What I will say is, my supervisor that I worked with, I remember her. She was very strict at times, she was. But she had a good heart also. So she would push us to work, but, the thing about her is if I finished all my work, I could just basically sit on my phone for the rest of my shift. She didn't care. So that was, so she was very nice with that. When I took care of everything on the floor, I unpacked everything, I did everything, all the tasks that she gave me, she would just let me, you know, sit on my phone and just do it. And if she needed me, she'd just call me. And that was just it. And that she was, you know, very nice in that regard. By the way, has anybody here played DMZ on Call of Duty? Has anybody played it before here? Recently, I mean, like within maybe the last few weeks. Oh, you have. Can somebody explain something to me? Am I doing something wrong in DMZ? Because whenever I drive the dirt bike in DMZ, right? And I stop the dirt bike, I park it, right? I park the dirt bike. It falls down, and then it explodes. Like, every time. Like, am I doing something wrong, or is that supposed to happen, or what? Because when I did ride the dirt bike in DMZ, it's blows up. I don't know why it does that. I was wondering when I was doing something wrong with it, or... Yeah, I'm gonna get Modern Warfare 3, because I want to see... I'm looking forward mostly to the story. Oh no, come on, come on. No, no, come on. Fall in there. Did I ever work past midnight? Oh, it's a bug. Did I ever work past midnight? I did. There was a few times I did. But when I did work past midnight, though, I wasn't really that concerned about a robbery because the store was closed. The store was locked. We just had to stay a little bit longer to take care of a few things. The one time that I was scared about a robbery happening is when I'm working on a holiday. Does anybody know why working on a holiday in a store would make you scared of a robbery? There's a reason for that. No work, exactly. If you are working on a holiday, chances are nobody's gonna come into the store. Nobody will. Very few people will, especially if it's like a big holiday. And so what that means is that you are there by yourself, essentially. And here's the thing about this. I worked on Thanksgiving, and I worked on Thanksgiving for 5 Thanksgivings straight. So for 5 Thanksgivings straight, I worked. I did not see my family for 5 Thanksgivings, because they would always tell me I have to work on Thanksgiving or I'd have to work on Christmas. I'd rather work on Thanksgiving than I would on Christmas. And what happened is, when I would work on Thanksgiving, there was nobody in the store. Nobody. Maybe we have like 2 or 3 customers come in for the entire day. That's it. So the store was empty, the parking lot was empty, and the store that I worked at was in a shopping plaza. And every store in the shopping plaza was closed on Thanksgiving. So it was dark, all the stores were closed, except the store that I was working at, nobody was there. And it was just me and 1 supervisor, that's it. And that's how it got scary. Because of the fact that it gets scary because you're in the store by yourself on the shift, and you don't know who's going to come in, if they're going to try to rob you, or what's going to happen. That's why it was always scary working on Thanksgiving, because it was just so empty in the store, and you didn't know whether somebody was going to come in and try to rob the store. Yeah, but they didn't even make that much money on Thanksgiving. It's just not profitable to keep the store open, but it was just I guess the company was that cheap that they even wanted to keep it open on Thanksgiving. When I worked on Thanksgiving, it took me, sorry, my iPad right there. It took me 15 minutes just to find 1 customer, huh? It was a retail store. I'm a big fan, watching since 2018. Thank you, man. Oh, there's a super chat, I'm sorry. Sorry I missed it, But thank you, Sleep Punch Man, for that, super chat. People, after seeing MJ's, new look teased, I come home after fighting crime to this, but it's the same character model, and so good. People are crazy. Well, people will criticize a lot of stuff, like, just for stupid reasons. Like, if you look at, for example, like Call of Duty, like, people can't make up their mind. Remember, like, you know how, like, I'm not trying to insult Call of Duty fans. Like, I like Call of Duty games for their stories mainly, but like sometimes the Call of Duty fans, like, it's like they can't make up their minds because it's like when Call of Duty Cold War came out, people were saying, "Oh, this game sucks. Cold War is the worst Call of Duty ever. This game sucks." And then Vanguard came out. People were like, "Oh, Vanguard, this is the worst Call of Duty ever. This game sucks." And then it's like Vanguard was a much worse game than Cold War. It was. And yet people were just like, people were just saying that Cold War is the worst Call of Duty until Vanguard came. I was like, make up your mind, people. And then when Modern Warfare, what was it? Modern Warfare 2 came out, people were like, oh, this is going to be the best Call of Duty ever. And now there's people saying Modern Warfare 2 is the worst Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2 is not a perfect game, but does not come anywhere close to being the worst Call of Duty. And then, like, you know, Modern Warfare 3, the beta is out, and people are saying, oh, this Call of Duty is going to be good. And after a few months of Modern Warfare 3, people are probably going to say, oh, this is the worst Call of Duty ever. That's what's probably going to happen. It's like, I just don't get, I don't understand Call of Duty fans. It's like every year, it's like people are saying this is the worst Call of Duty, and I don't even know what's so bad about some of the games. Like, some of the games are better than others. Like, Vanguard was the only game that kind of really pissed me off in a way, was Vanguard. And the main reason that Vanguard pissed me off, it wasn't due to the gameplay. It was more due to the history. That's why Vanguard pissed me off, because I like history a lot. I like reading it. And so, when I see an STG-44, a German assault rifle, being held by Japanese troops in the Pacific, and I see Japanese troops using MG-42s, German machine guns in the Pacific, I get pissed off when I see stuff like that, because that's historically inaccurate, and it makes no sense. And so that's what mainly pissed me off about Vanguard. It was the historical inaccuracies in that game. I'll play Undead Nightmare on Halloween. Oleg says, according to archive correspondence, the USSR was a sole arms dealer, but Stalin changed his mind after 1950, starting an offensive, which initiated the push towards Busan. Well, Stalin definitely was an aggressor, 100% on that, Max. Yeah, I would say probably Infinite Warfare is probably one of the worser ones. Infinite Warfare didn't have a bad single player, I heard, but the multiplayer wasn't good. Yeah, an F-2000 in a World War II game. Do you know how stupid that is? That they added, like, they added anime skins in a World War II game. And do you know that one of the characters in Vanguard, one of the characters is like a helicopter pilot? When you read her, like, her bio, which is like, what helicopters in World War II? Like, what? Like, there was a few prototype helicopters. I know there was one American helicopter that they used in the Pacific during World War II, but it was just in the Pacific, and it was a very rare design that they used. But there was no helicopters in World War II, so I don't know how you can be a helicopter pilot in World War II, as one of the characters in multiplayer was. And then one of the characters, if you read their bio, it says they fought in both World War I and World War II, but they were born in 1920. So they were literally born 2 years after World War I happened. So how are they fighting World War I if they didn't even exist during World War I? If they were born 2 years after that game was like terrible. Like, I don't know how some of the people, the history in that game was like really, really bad. Oh, jump out of the helicopter here. Have I ever been attacked or assaulted at the time that I worked in retail? Technically, yes. If you count somebody spitting at me as assault, then yes. Because that technically is assault. But yes, I had a customer spit at me once in retail. And if you want to know why did somebody spit at me in retail, the reason that person spit at me was because when they came to the register, they were buying a few things, and they wanted to give me their phone number for their store card. Now, here's the thing about this. The company that I worked for, there was like a store card that customers could use. And the thing is, though, is that if you didn't have your store card with you, you could use your phone number if you didn't have your store card with you. And what ended up happening is the guy gave me his phone number too quickly. Like, I couldn't put it in my register. My register lagged. And I asked him, you know, can you give me your phone number one more time? And he didn't, he didn't give me it right away. He instead got really pissed off. He took his fist and started banging at the counter and spitting at me his phone number. And so I don't know how somebody can get that pissed off at just me asking them to repeat their phone number, but people are crazy. But one of my coworkers, she actually did get physically assaulted. Like, her customer actually put their hands on them. That actually did happen. What ended up happening is my coworker, she was a supervisor of mine, she saw a guy shoplifting. He put something in his sweater, and she said to him, "Are you gonna pay for that?" And he turns around and just basically throws her into a shelf. It was like one of those kind of metallic shelves. The shelf collapsed after she got pushed into that, so it fell down with her. For people wondering, she was okay. She had to go to the hospital, but she made a full recovery. She didn't break any bones. She was just shooken up. But that happened. I wasn't there that day when that happened, but that was a that really changed one of my coworkers. You know, she never confronted anyone again. That's why you don't want to, you know, confront people also. But she was a good friend of mine. You know, she was nice. But that was I remember when that happened too. What's more cringe, New Saints Row or Borderlands? I don't know Borderlands that well, so I can't answer that question. Well, what was that? Did spin the block after? Wait, what? What are you asking me, RIP? People like to flip-flop their opinions on games. Yeah. How to find people to do the casino heist with? Well, you could do it with randoms. That's always a possibility. And chances are, when you do heists with randoms, you could actually find some good people to do heists with. I know that people are scared, and thank you, Variant, but I found some friends. You know, that's how I added people on GTA a lot of times. Are you gonna play Max Payne 3 after finishing 2? Max Payne 3 after finishing 2? I could probably do Max Payne 2 again this year. I just don't know when. Thank you, FTV10. Ow. Oh, Marcus is here, okay. Is Trio still in this lobby? Is he here? He here. If Trio isn't here anymore, oh, he is still here, okay. I can help Trio with his heist after, help Marcus with a few of his, Do you know what the biggest, flip-flop that I've ever seen was, guys? When Watch Dogs 1 came out, people were saying Aiden Pierce is boring. Aiden Pierce sucks. Aiden Pierce doesn't care about anybody. He's a cold, you know, character. And then years later, people were saying Aiden Pierce is the best character ever. You know, he was awesome. He was the best Watch Dogs protagonist. It's like, what? Like, and the thing is, I always loved Aiden Pierce. Aiden Pierce was one of my favorite characters. I thought he was a great character in Watch Dogs 1. I don't know why some people hated Aiden Pierce so much. I thought Aiden Pierce was a great written character. But people were just hating on that character for no reason. And then years later, people were all like, "Oh, he was the best character ever." The thing about that is that the guy who spit at me in retail, I found out later that I could have probably pressed charges on him. I didn't know about that. Okay, Marcus, I'll help you with 2 businesses, and then I'm gonna help, Trio with his heist, okay? On your GTA 5, you said you don't like GTA 4 because it wasn't as good as GTA 4. Oh, it was just, I guess just talking too fast and made a mistake. Yeah, I could do DMZ stream one day. Rio, you gotta wait. I'm gonna help him with 2 businesses, and I'm gonna help you with your heist. Hitman Absolution, yeah, it wasn't the best Hitman game, but I enjoyed it. Insomniac is literally a win because we're getting Toby's symbiote suit now. Hopefully we can get the ultimate is that the ult or EA SM2 suit. I don't know what that one is. Also, the code I'm giving away is the launch edition. Okay, Blinded Eagle. Thank you for the super chat. Enter a boat, okay. I asked if you beat him up. No. I'm not that type of person, dude. I don't think I could ever beat anyone up. I don't think I could do that. I'm not like a really weak guy either, but I don't think I could ever do something like that. I don't think I could. The only time I think I could possibly hit somebody's in self-defense. That's it. I don't think I could ever beat anyone up. No, I can't do something like that. Even if the person is being like a complete scumbag to me, I don't think I could do that. Do you work out, Pro? Usually like 3 days a week, but I haven't worked out in like 2 weeks. I've been slacking. The ABS Advanced Ballistic Suit that former Operative Chance was wearing wouldn't protect him from something like dynamite sticks or high calibers. I mean, you have consciousness and morals, so thank you, man. How do you feel about DMZ? I kind of like DMZ, but one thing I don't like that they did with DMZ is that they got rid of 6-man squads. I don't like that. Because before that, you could just join up 2 squads together. And you could run a 6-man, and if you were running a 6-man squad, you didn't have to worry about griefers messing with you. But now you can only add 1 extra person to your squad, and it's, yeah. Ow. The Stranger Missions Red Dead Redemption 1 will be up later this week. I'll have those up later this week. What is the most annoying thing about DMZ? The players. I would say toxic players. Do you know what the, you know what actually happened to me once? One time I was playing DMZ, right? And, I was playing with a friend of mine. And this guy walked up to us, another player, and he started saying friendly. And he started saying, you want to team up? Now, in DMZ, you can actually team up with random players. So it's a random player next to you, you can send an invite out, and they'll join your squad. And so this guy, this random, player, wasn't in our squad, walked up to me and my friend, and he started saying, friendly, let's team up. I start sending the guy a bunch of invites, he doesn't accept it, and then what he does is, me and my friend, we were on the 2nd floor in this building, he comes in the building, and he just shoots both of us and just kills us. Doesn't even revive us when we were pleading, and he takes all of our stuff. And I say to the guy, I'm like, dude, why'd you do that? You said friendly, friendly. We're sending you invites to the squad. And then he tells me, deal with it. It's part of the game. Go get a girlfriend. That's literally what he says. Like, literally, what's your problem, dude? Like, literally, the guy says friendly, friendly, and then, like, want to team up, and just goes up to us and just kills both of us, takes our stuff, and then says it's part of the game, deal with it. It's like, no, it's not part of the game. That's called being a scumbag. That's what that is. That's being a complete scumbag. Let's see here. I missed a few super chats, I think. So that's why I say the worst part about DMZ is the toxic players. Like, there's some really toxic people on DMZ. Who's worse, Cringe Saints or KDJ and Sasanta? Oh, I don't know. I would say the Cringe Saints are worse than Sasanta and KDJ, because at least Sasanta and KDJ are still organized criminals. They're annoying, sure, they're annoying, but at least they're organized criminals. At least Sasanta and KDJ can still come up with a plan. Like, they actually have an actual decent plan. What do you think of Red Dead Redemption 1 on PS5 being boosted to 60 FPS thanks to the update, Professional? I think it's good. I think it's a step in the right direction, Brandon. The game runs much more smooth and it's much more fun. Like I said, I don't like that they got rid of the 6-man squads in DMZ. I thought that six-man squads were a good way to avoid griefers. In GTA, there was this guy who was orb spamming me, and when he couldn't get me due to me being under a garage, he booted me and said, "Get good." Oh my god, I'm sorry that happened to you, Seth. Some people are just so toxic. I hope that you at least made a report on him. I know that Rockstar probably doesn't care, but I hope at least you made a report on that. Thank you for that super chat. Oh, and thank you, Dylan. Thank you. Largest super chat today. $50 super chat. Thank you, man. Thank you, Dylan. Special shout out there to Dylan. It breaks my heart that, Saints Row has so much wasted potential throughout the years with the cancelled games, the cringe, the change in direction, the 2.5 concept that Volition had envisioned for the reboot, but was scrapped, by Deep Silver. Such a shame. Thank you, Dylan. And is there proof that they actually plan to make Saints Row, the Saints Row reboot, like Saints Row 2, and that it was Deep Silver who changed that? Because I hear a lot of people saying that. But if that is the case, then I guess both of them are at fault, because Volition also lashed out the fans, though. They also did that. But thank you, Dylan. I do really appreciate the super chat. Do you think the Treaty of Versailles was too hard? I think that, after World War I ended, I think all sides should have taken responsibility for it, and I think that all sides should have paid for the rebuilding of every city and country that they destroyed. Negativity bias online? I don't know. Here, Marcus, did you invite me to your next, They acted like a child defending Saints Row. Yes, they did. Thank you again, Dylan, for the super chat. I do really appreciate it, man. Thoughts on the Silk Road site on Dark Web? I don't know what that is. But judging by the fact that you're saying Dark Web, I'm assuming it's like a site that sells, like, illegal, bad stuff. Yeah, well, the Treaty of Versailles, yeah, it was, France did have a huge part in it, that they wanted Germany to be punished. That was a huge part in it. You ever play Knights of the Old Republic growing up? No, but I know the game.
We sell it?
Oh, okay. The open road site is based on the Silk Road. Oh, then it's like it's a place where they sell drugs then. Kaiser Wilhelm wanted Woodrow Wilson's 14 points instead of the Treaty of Versailles. Honestly, DMZ is already really toxic enough, Zach, so I wouldn't want it to get more toxic with something like that. Will you be playing Red Dead Undead Nightmare soon? I will play that, and Halloween, I'll play that. You guys know what the most unrealistic thing about Undead Nightmare is? It's even more unrealistic than the zombies itself. The most unrealistic thing about Undead Nightmare is the fact that when zombie uncle comes back and John hits him, and then, you know, Abigail says, "Where you going?" He's like, "I'm gonna get my gun." And he goes to the barn to get his shotgun. And my question is, you know, what the hell on that? That's even more unrealistic than the zombies, because West Elizabeth is supposed to be based on Texas, and you're telling me that a Texas rancher does not have a gun in his room? Like, not a gun easily accessible in his house? No Texas rancher would no Texas rancher would be unprepared like that. That's what I found more unrealistic than the zombies, actually. Okay. I thought Texas was New Austin. I think West Elizabeth is supposed to be Texas, though, is it not? I think isn't New Austin supposed to be New Mexico? I know Austin is a city in Texas, but I think West Elizabeth is supposed to be Texas. Okay, Trio, right after this, I'm gonna help you with your heist right after this. Wait, what, Michael? What's that? Rockstar isn't necessarily gonna double down on their Kaio nerfs, but they're not gonna change anything. Big Valley's based on Sierra Nevadas? McFarlane's Ranch in the Steed and the Great Plains of West Elizabeth is based on Texas. Yeah, so New Austin is supposed to be New Mexico. Dark plus Deep Web is Internet and Criminal Underworld, yeah. Lemoyne is based in Louisiana, yeah. I always wondered what, I know the Heartlands is based in the Midwest. That's obvious to me. I know that 100%. Because the Heartlands looks just like the Midwest. Like, where I moved to, it looks very similar to that. So I know the Heartlands is obviously the Midwest in Red Dead Redemption 2. But my question is, what is the, damn, I'm losing my track of thought here. The really cold place, Ambarino. Ambarino, that's it. What is Ambarino supposed to be based on? Is that supposed to be Colorado? Or is it supposed to be... Montana and Idaho? Heartlands is Minnesota? No. No, 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 no. No, whoa, whoa, ooh. No, it's close, sorry about that. The Heartlands is not Minnesota. Do you know why? Because even though Minnesota is the Midwest, Minnesota has a lot of forest. It has a lot of trees. A lot of the other Midwestern states don't have trees. Like, it's very flat, it's fields. Like, you look at Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, for example. Those places are very, you know, very flat. They have, like, a lot of, they have a lot of fields, and that matches the terrain of that exactly. Well, then the Lost probably would not have gotten to the state that they're in. I think Amberino is the Rocky Mountains too, because remember, it's called the Grizzlies, and what do we call the Rocky Mountains? We call them the Rockies. So that's Kansas is flat too. Yep. I love to see Red Dead Redemption 3 inspired by the Ned Kelly gang. It'll never happen, but I still dream. Keep up the good work, mate. Thank you, Cameron Paul. How much did a house cost back in 1899? A house in 1899? If you're talking like a very basic house, like a one-room house, because those houses did exist, maybe you could get one for a few $100. But like a more bigger house would be a few $1,000s. As a person from New Mexico, I can agree that New Austin looks sort of similar to New Mexico. Well, thank you, Justin. Thank you for the super chat. Favorite Call of Duty game between Call of Duty 4 and Black Ops 3? Why? World at War. Because I just liked the setting in that one, and it was like the most darkest Call of Duty game. World at War was, yeah. Thank you, Max, for the super chat. Thank you, Justin, Max, and Cameron Paul. Thanks, guys. Beecher's Hope cost around $2,000. I wonder what John wasted all that money on, because didn't John take like $20,000 from Micah's stash? So then what did he waste all that money on in like 4 years? Hey Trio, I'm gonna join your heist now here. Why were the bison almost hunted to death? What was the reason? Idiots. That's the reason. It was, there was people would shoot the bison for just no reason. Like, people would just shoot them for fun, and they would, they almost went extinct because of that. The thing about this is, if somebody's gonna kill something like the bison, at least kill it to get its meat and its fur. Don't just shoot it because you're gonna shoot it. That's just stupid. And that's what people would do, is, back then in the West, you would have people that would be riding on trains, and they would see, like, a bunch of bison next to them. And what they would do is they would just take their rifle, and they would think that it's fun to shoot a bison from a moving train. And so they would just shoot bison and drop them like flies. And that's one of the reasons that the bison population just dropped so much. Because of that, because you had idiots that nearly caused them to be extinct. That's where actually some of the first conservation laws came from that. Because of that. Let me look, Miles. We're doing it with 4 people? Because we could get the gold with 2 people, but it's up to you, Trio. It's your heist. Hey, what's up? Miles, can you type your comment again? Just type your comment what you want to ask me, because I'm scrolling up and I see a lot of your comments of just asking me to read your last comment, but I don't see what your last comment is. Just type it in and I'll read it. Favorite Red Dead Redemption 2 story outfit? Oh, A good question. I would say probably Arthur's kind of like tan coat and hat. Yeah, that's the one. Or maybe the Amberino one, the blue coat that he has in Amberino. That one I like too. Yeah. Would I ever join the military? I did consider it at one point when I was in college, but I decided, you know, well, before I went to college, but I decided to go to college instead. You don't have to give me 25%. Give my cut to someone else. I don't need it. I just want to help.
So, we're going in via the roof deck. Let's hope no one's strafing it with light artillery right now, huh? Get in the helicopter. I'm sending the pilot the coordinates.
You don't have to go for the helicopter because it's gonna take a little bit longer. Just go in through the just go in through the staff entrance. New or old Blade Runner? Wait, what's that, Max?
The key to this whole job is to forget we're attempting a career-defining heist and stay calm. Are you calm? Good, because I'm calm.
I would look forward to a GTA 4 remaster. Just hope they don't destroy it.
And they see ya. We're just gonna do this the old-fashioned way, one dead guy at a time. Okay, do you want the good news or the bad news? Well, the good news is that they just had a record-breaking...
Well, I can understand that Casino is more fun than Cayo right now, yeah.
And the bad news is that they've hired extra security to guard it. High risk, high gain. Just how we like it. Hey, did you try out your stun gun yet? This is going to be your best friend. It'll overload the circuits on any CCTV camera or metal detector it hits. They recover after a while, so as far as security is concerned, it was just a temporary outage, but it's enough for you to get past. Your keycard is good for anything up to a level 2 security door. That's it. Head through the door to the staff lobby. Metal detectors up ahead. You'll need to find the fuse box on the side of the unit, take it out with a stun gun, and get through before it recovers.
Oh, I hate when this happens. Hang on.
Quickly, get through. Heads up, CCTV.
I hate when they spawn like that.
Should disable the camera for a while, or go old school and time your run. Quick and clean. Very nice.
Okay, everyone get on the left side in this room here, because he can see you through the door sometimes. I'm gonna take him out. Wait till he comes back around.
Hey, before they go to the vault, today's takings are stored near where you are. It's up to you, but might be worth a detour. It's a 2-room system. One of you needs to hold the access button in the security room, the other runs through and grabs the cash. Heads up, CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time.
Somebody
your
get the
run.
money that's in the, in there. I'm gonna start clearing out the guards downstairs.
The cash is on the cart. Don't get distracted. This is just a starter. Alright, that camera just went down. It'll be back online soon. And remember, if you bring down too many at the same time, they'll hit the alarm. Only one way down from here. One step at a time. I need my inhaler.
Stay in that door room, guys. Stay in there.
These people
Okay, he's coming. Okay. Yeah, he's coming. Wait, is he going? Okay, he's going that way. Gonna have to waste him before he sees the bodies. What the hell? What?
It's open. Let's hustle.
Wait, what just... Okay, restart this one more time here. I don't know how we got the... I don't know how that... This is why I hate the stealth in GTA sometimes. That's so stupid. We did all of that quietly. I don't know how that went off. I don't know how that happened. I killed everyone quietly, stealth. No one saw me. That was stupid. You accidentally shot the window? What window? Well, that we were doing so good there too, and it's maybe it was the camera. Yeah, maybe a camera saw body. Maybe it's... What's your question, Ricky? No, I haven't had that happen in Miles.
You need to find the fuse box on the side of the unit. Take it out with a stun
You know,
gun
wait, because these guys are gonna...
before it recovers. That's it. Short it. Quickly, get through. Heads up. CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run. Perfect. Never saw you coming. And you are in. Hey, before they go to the vault, today's takings are stored near where you are. It's up to you, but might be worth a detour. It's a two-room system. One of you needs to
Okay,
hold the access
I guess
button
knock
and
down that
security
guard when he
guard
comes around.
runs through and grabs the cash. Heads up, CCTV ahead. The stun gun should disable the camera for a while. Or go old school and time your run. Only one way down from here, one step at a time. I need my inhaler just listening to you.
Okay, hide in a door room, guys. I'm gonna get the guy to come over here.
It's heavily guarded.
Okay, he's going that way again. Okay.
All right, that camera just went down. It'll be back online soon.
Here he comes.
Remember,
Okay.
if you bring down too many at the same time, they'll hit the alarm. No hassle. I like it. Remember, these people aren't idiots. If you fry too many cameras at once, security will know something's up. You're so close. See that security checkpoint? The man trap is just beyond it. Well, he's not ringing the alarm.
Ah. I can hear. Okay, go. This guy that's in here, I have to drop him too.
That's your man.
Oh, wait. What just happened?
Both vault key cards simultaneously at separate control
Wait.
panels. That unlocks
Did
the
you have an
system.
EMP trio?
And then we can't open both the inner and the outer doors simultaneously. Everyone needs to get inside.
Swipe it now.
Close the first door and then open the second.
Did you have an
We are
EMP?
dark. Goggles on, everyone. Looks like they don't suspect a thing.
You wasted it
So let's
because
make the
it's
most
better
of
to
it.
use it when we're escaping,
One
not now.
person
We
with
killed all the
vault key
guards.
card at each terminal. Let's go.
It's okay, don't worry about it. We'll still get out, but it's better to use it right when you're exiting, not...
First door open until you're set.
No, don't say that, Alro. It's just, you know, accidents happen, it's fine.
Okay, so far
Yes,
so
I could do,
Push
something
on
on
to
that
the
blood,
vault. Looks like the guard at the vault room isn't there. Happy days. I know this is a special moment for you down there, but trust me, it's about to get a lot more special on the other side of that door. Break out the laser drill, let's do this! The lock mechanism should melt like butter. You just need to target the weak points. Don't rush. If you push the drill too hard, it'll overheat. We're not on a time limit until we're inside. Number 2 done. That's disc 3. Good, that's the left side taken care of.
Okay. There we go. I'm getting everything on the left side.
Gold! Very nice. It's on the carts. Good news. Seeing as we stayed under the radar, we have a little more time here. Now, your hacker can block the security sensors while you're in the vault, but only for a while. If the system goes quiet for too long, it triggers the alarm as a failsafe. And, did I mention that if the alarm goes off in here, they'll flood the place with nerve agent? No? Okay, well, I'm mentioning it now. There's a set of lockboxes in here. Drill them if you've got the time, but I can't promise you there'll be anything good inside.
Well, yeah, I agree. Doing the same thing like the armored trucks is the, That does get a bit boring, yeah. I finished Casino Elite Challenge before, but I haven't done it a lot because I don't use the helicopter much. I like to drive out. Green Cross gas is about to release in the vault. Oh, you mean when it goes down to 0? Thank you, London, for the super chat. Okay, I'm gonna start drilling boxes over here then. Yeah, Strauss is a scumbag in Red Dead Redemption 2. Get one
30
more.
seconds before the failsafe alarm, so make the most of it.
Yeah, let's go.
20 seconds. Perfect. Now get out before they smell a rat. Gas incoming. 10 seconds. We're still under the radar. Perfect. Perfect.
Okay,
People,
do it.
is the mother load. We cleaned them out. Okay, let's see if we can make the way out as smooth as the way in. Get your key cards ready. You really cleaned up down there, you know? They're not gonna know what hit them. Except for the insurance bill.
We are gonna have to kill all the guards down here.
It'll be the crown jewel of my career.
If we don't, they're gonna, the alarm's gonna go off.
question. Alright, the camera just went down. It'll be back online soon. And remember, if you bring down too many at the same time, they'll hit the alarm. Listen up, we have bad news and good news. The bad news is they did a spot check on the vault, so they know it's been robbed. The good news is they have no idea who or how. The cops are on their way, but you can still make it out undetected if you do exactly what I say.
Okay, let's go.
But now, the shit really hits the fan. Must be tiring running around with all that loot. The side doors are back through the staff entrance. You're almost there. Nice shot.
Okay, let's go. I knocked out the camera.
I've missed this.
Good work, everyone. How can people get you to help with heist and sales? Well, you don't have to, you can just, you don't even have to have me added. You can, I can help anyone. I really help anyone. So if I'm in the same lobby as you, I'll help anyone. Ah, crap. Okay, well, whatever. We got the cars right here. Let's go. Let's all get in the same car if it's 4. Is it 4-seaters? Yeah, it is. Let's all just get in the same one, then. No, it's 4. You getting in? Okay. Oh my god, what the... He wasn't even going that fast. How did he manage the physics in this game? Don't shoot at them anymore. There we go, lost him.
Excuse me while I take a moment to bask in the glow of my own genius. Feel free to join me. This was the high point of a career full of nothing but high points. Lester Crest is back, baby. Looks like the house doesn't always win after all.
I think that Lester's dialogue is annoying, like, the first time you're playing it, but I hate how you have to keep constantly hear him. It's like, I know what to do, done the heist so many times, but just himself, and the amount that Lester talks makes it a bit annoying to try to talk to your teammates, too. Oh, damn, forgot about that rail there. Yeah, I wish you could mute Lester, too. Okay. Yeah, so it'll probably be, yeah, everyone did good. Everyone did good. Good job, guys. Yeah, I'll be wrapping up the stream here, but I'll still answer any questions people might have before I go here. So if you guys want to ask me anything, I can still ask. What the? What's with the NPCs? Why are they cursing so much? Okay, I just... No, Strauss wasn't a psychopath. Okay, uh, an underrated Rockstar game that deserves a sequel? Probably Bully. People have, asked for that for a long time. Well, I have to, uh, LX, and I'm hungry, I want to get something to eat. And I do gotta do something early tomorrow in the morning. Uh... Maybe I'll... How long is the Modern Warfare 3 beta still up for? Because I might do a stream on it. I did, Michael. I'm considering playing Manhunt for the first time for Halloween. Should I play the Steam port or emulate the PS2 port? Uh, be careful with the Steam port, because I heard that Rockstar has used pirated versions of it. Thank you, Victor, for the Thank you for the super chat. Why don't you use the PS2 version of Manhunt on the PlayStation Store? Isn't it on the PlayStation Store? There's a PS2 version, I think, right? Well, he probably would have taken out the other families then, Zach. Tumbleweed is abandoned because of the mine that abandoned next to it, and also because the train tracks didn't go right through it. Been waiting on that bully playthrough. I will do it eventually, Anton, I will. Thank you for the super chat. Is it safe to buy Manhunt from the PSN store? Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be. Safe here is full of cash, too. Oh, we never really find out. Probably have their own version of Fallout there too. Probably Lendon. But I guess we'll be going here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, and thank you guys for watching the stream. I do appreciate it. Do I like Payday 3 better than 2? Yeah, I do, for the most part. Gameplay is a bit more smooth, but I really wish that they would have a safe house. I really wish that they would have that. But thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream, and I'll have some cool videos for you guys up this week. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.